So this video is going to come out a lot later than I expect it to. It should be coming out on the 14th of July 2025, and that's going to date the video. But yeah, the important part as we get Herald Scar's random item stats is that, yeah, this video is likely to come out a lot later than I expect because I'm taking care of things. But other than that, we'll just focus on the run because otherwise bad things might happen to me. If you already played this character, I'll play it one more time. Otherwise, I believe this is my second time, but I guess we'll find out as we get into Herald Scar's random item stats custom character with 2 custom mysteries today. Keeping in mind that I'm gonna shift custom mysteries again on the 25th episode multiples of. So episode 125, after that on episode 126, as we have dexterity, light, second encounter knowledge, Takushi-san, and maybe a charisma check, we will swap to we'll add some custom mysteries, basically, because I think I'm using none from the mini mod pack, if I recall correctly. Actually, we're going to leave the hardware store here. If we get the heavy-duty flashlight, cool, but I would still prefer a strength weapon, funny enough. So, let's find out. Also, keeping in mind that we are on, well, not just Scars, but now I forgot what else. Oh, yeah, Scar. I think it was just Scars, because I was looking at my max stamina and wondering why it was so low. It's because we have Abdominal Cut. But as we get into this, I think we will sell this book too. It does sell for 1 funds, but then we have, I almost said ramen, Coma Recluse. Oh, never mind, not Kana. So Cult, Phantasms, Sailors, Recluse, and Coma. That is interesting. For the reason, well, I think we take Phantasms 4th then. I have to take Recluse at some point. We're in Scars, so we take less damage, but we have less max reason. So, I guess we will take Phantasms first. Sailors last. Coma is probably going to be 4th, funny enough. And I'll do my best to survive. So, first things first. Use all this Doom. Because we have not Phantasms, and well, because we have Phantasms that could hurt us, but what I'm trying to say is we have Recluse, and so we should be using less things. Also, our Monkey Wrench does less damage, so that makes me sad. I think this Carpenter Hammer is also, it actually might be faster. I'm gonna make a gamble here. I'm gonna Pocket Knife, but then I'm gonna Witch Tree for funds. That's kind of bad. Especially if we're gonna do Recluse next, but we'll see. Heavy-duty flashlight. Yeah, we'll do heavy-duty flashlight. It's been a while since I used you, but as for whether or not it'll help, well, we'll find out when we get into an encounter. I think this is a faster heavy-duty flashlight, but we'll see. As we fail our very first check with a 9 roll. Not the highest, but 9, 10, 11, and 12 is usually what I'm looking at when I'm like, oh, I'm so unlucky. And then luck, just anything above a 7 is just pain. But let's see. So we perfectly get prep attack with this heavy-duty flashlight. Again, we're on random item stats, so things are random. The speed is randomized as well. We could have very much been able to not prep attack. But I'll take the 2 stamina damage. Could be worse. But yeah, otherwise moving on here. I really did not want to fail that. Well, time to take Doom in the face. I don't even want a monument because if we lose reason, we risk dying in Recluse. Although that does mean I get to do another run if I die during Recluse. But for those who don't know, I have a soft rule to restart or to do another run in the video if I die before the end of the second mystery. Sometimes I stretch that out, so at the very beginning of my 3rd mystery or in the middle, or sometimes even at the end of the 3rd mystery, if I'm feeling frisky enough, I will. That's probably not the right word. I do a 3rd or 2nd run. But normally that doesn't happen. So, we do take the reason here. We're going to take Insomnia as well, but we thankfully also have the Tireless bonus. So that's not a... I've seen this comment before, but people look at the Restless bonus and whatnot, or they look at the cursed status effects like Insomnia and say, hey, I didn't actually lose 2 reason. The reason that's happening, as I show you here, is that you get the Tireless bonus, so you heal 1 reason. So overall, you still lose 1 reason because you lose 2 from Insomnia, but gain 1 if you get the Tireless bonus. If you don't get the Tireless bonus, you're going to see yourself lose 2 reason. Or 2 stamina if you have that other curse, which I forgot the name. But you get what I'm talking. I think you get what I'm talking about. Also, we do need to eventually use this Pocket Knife, but hey, yeah, not getting Kana. Even though we're on a Scars run, I would still prefer it on a Scars run. Yeah, not getting Kana hurts a bunch. For those who don't know why, or why I'm just saying this out of the blue, it's because we're doing a custom mystery instead of eels, and that's because a custom mystery did not spawn on our rightmost mystery, which makes me really, really sad. That's RNG, though, as we roll an 11 on luck. I'm shaking my head silently. I think, yeah, with the stuffed toy, I do want to get rid of that status effect. Now, if we get branded or something amazing, or when I say amazing, I mean amazingly bad, then yeah, we'll deal with it when the time comes. Also, the very... no, I won't say that. I was about to say something. I was going to say the very funny thing, and then I stopped what I was going to say, because I'm not sure about something. But anywho. Basically, I have a lot of thoughts going in my mind, and I'm wondering whether or not it's correct or not, which is why I'm stopping myself at times. So, just so I don't spread misinformation, because I do care about not saying the wrong thing, and that, although that is different from me getting something wrong and learning later, although that's kind of still the threshold of where I'm willing to be at as we get out of this. With 3 reasons, after the end of the second mystery. We lose the bath, so that's gonna hurt, but whether or not we keep at 3 reasons, and just to make sure we lost the bath and I'm not just hallucinating, yes, hallucinations curse in real life. Otherwise, Colt, and we hope to fail to skip the boss. If we don't skip the boss, as we actually get first aid, that will help out immensely. We could also take stealth for extra experience, but I'd rather take first aid, I think. I'm also listening for something because I just thought about a thing. But anywho, we'll gamble. Yeah, so we'll gamble. I think the right one hurts you as well, but it's been a while since I did any homework. I talk about homework at times for the past 10 to 20 episodes. I promise you, I did not do any homework because I'm doing a homework on horses, basically. Both for lore's sake and to make myself smarter in a game. But anywho, keeping in mind that, yeah, we do want to, well, 1, get the follower, but 2, use the pocket knife at some point. I think it's you have to fail that check to get the follower, funny enough. So having higher charisma actually hurts you if you're trying to skip the boss. If you're not trying to skip the boss, do whatever you want, but hey. We're gonna go to the right corridor just to see. Why did I think this encounter hurt me more? I think it's because it actually does 2 stamina damage, but because we're on scars, that doesn't happen. So, yeah, now we get to Desperate Prep Strong. Because we're at 3 reason. So, let us see. I did want to talk about something I completely forgot because my mind is held up. 1 with game development, 2 with real life stuff, and 3 doing a thing. And if you've kind of connected the dots, yes, I am dealing with a situation in real life. Not too serious, though. If it were really, really serious, well, it could be serious. But I'll let you know when that happens as we sacrifice the allies to avoid a boss fight. So essentially, the only other thing that I was thinking of was trying to start something somewhere else, not just on this platform, but just even another site. If for no other reason, and it's not to anyone's loss, I'm just thinking of what happens if this platform goes kaput. Then I pretty much lose all my videos, really. But that's one of many worries that I have. So that's something I'm thinking about, and I have been looking around. That's why although I should be on top of things, I have not actually been on top of this channel as much as I should be. On top of everything else I have to do, the Fear and Hunger fanfic that I've had to box myself for, the Fear and Hunger mod that I want to do, but that's held up by, you know, just doing game development. Oh my goodness, we're gonna pocket knife this, by the way. And off we go. I think we should be able to survive this run. 4th mystery, 50% doom. We're looking pretty good, but you never know when things like this can happen and you just suddenly get hurt. A lot. That being said, I'm also doing other stuff. Again, if I haven't already said it, I'll say it now. Please don't die to reason, by the way. I am exploring options with the writing, basically, and we'll leave it at that. Now, whether or not it's going to be successful, maybe not. Writing sometimes takes time, unless you're doing specifically freelance writing, but that's a completely different story as we get to the dullness here. I almost said Rumu Ghost, but we'll make use of these. So yeah, I can continue yapping on is what I'm trying to say. We don't need to use anything here, so we'll just store everything we don't need to use, including the empty bottle, because we're going to save throw damage here. That's a small little thing. If anything to take away from Roll to 4, because I'm picking up branches and broken bottles. The reason I store the empty bottle, where some people might say, why don't you just throw it at the dullness, because you're going to do that anyway. It's because it does more damage. The empty bottle does more damage. The broken bottle and branch only does 3. The empty bottle does 4 when thrown, so therefore it makes sense to throw the lesser damage items at an enemy that will not be able to fight back, and then use the empty bottle to throw because we had lost Beth, so it's pretty much just an empty bottle, unless I want blood or something, but you get the point. We can use more damage on an enemy that actually hurts us per turn to attempt to try and one-shot it, if we can no longer one-shot with the power of 12 throw damage available on hand. That being said, we are very, very lucky to run into the Dull Nurse. I think it's been a while. I feel like it's been a while since I ran into Dull Nurse, and that's only because my memorization of whether or not I've been yapping for a long time during World of Horror videos, which I do all the time, but you get the point. When I'm sitting in Dull Nurse improvising for 21, 23 turns, I definitely have the time to yap on about whatever I want to talk about. But anywho, I guess this is a good moment to kind of self-plug myself. So again, if anything, I know you can support me monetarily on this channel through either memberships or when super chatting during a stream or other ways. I know I think I still have a few things open, but really I want you to support me monetarily elsewise, but only after I provide something in return. Usually in this case it would be game dev, video game itself, because, well, I'm making video games, so if you really want to say, hey Jordan, I want to support you, just buy my game if you feel that the game itself is worth the thing. That's the one, that's what I want to push the most. Also, we could have done a thing here. No, we couldn't have, so off we go. And yeah, there we wait, did we actually lose 2 reason there? Why did we lose 2 reason there? Am I going crazy? Well, anywho, an enemy shouldn't be able to defeat us, and then yes, we did lose Bath. So, I forgot about Sailors, but we can throw away the 2 items now. If nothing else, so Dull Nurse helping us out double here. But for all intents and purposes, I should just rest now, like a couple times. Because if we somehow accumulate 25% Doom during the course of Sailors, I will be kind of sad. So, off we go. No more Restless bonus, but it shouldn't matter because I'm not affected by Insomnia. And let's cross our fingers and hope we don't just get pelted with it. Funny enough, we do want to run into an enemy now, because we are equipped to pretty much one-shot nearly everything. Not Rumaghost, please. But otherwise, if we get to lower Doom like that... Also, I never visited the police station. Let's do that now. We're probably just going to break even at this point, but hey. And then we actually got a threat level in the apartments. How do I knew that going into the police station because I saw the icon for the apartments there. So another thing to kind of learn, even though it doesn't really matter, not really anything too much to worry about. You know, the funny thing that I forgot to mention, but I'll mention it now, is that I think... Oh, never mind. I thought that was a requirement choice. Never mind. I could have also put the patrols in the seaside. But what I'm trying to say is that I forgot. No, man. Hopefully I remember. Oh, this is what I get for yapping on. We should just run away here, all things considered. We could attempt to one-shot that, but it would not be worth the pain I take. That would be all damage, which I don't want to do. Especially since we can't rest efficiently anymore. I think that's worth it, right? Am I going crazy? 6 Doom to heal 3 Stamina, 3 Reason, or 5 Doom to run away, but no experience granted. But it's not like I'm going to level up again anyway. If I had even if the enemy gave me 20 experience, we'd be at 47, and unless we pass every single check here, we're not going to get enough experience to level up. Maybe we could, but what I'm trying to say is that this extra level here won't really help out. In fact, even with Takshisan, we can kind of just walk up this lighthouse and be perfectly fine. Actually, we have 9 stamina, so what I need to do is save this stamina in case I get 3 stamina checks in a row. Otherwise, I'm not really worried about Reason. It's Doom and something else, which I did forget, actually. So, I did Recluse second. I don't know if I fought... I'm just going to say the roommate. It was not the roommate. But as long as I get my... Yeah, as long as Takshisan doesn't hit us for a lot of damage, we should be perfectly fine here. Don't know if he can one-shot. We do have Desperate Struggle available. But... And this is why I like to stay usually at about 3 Stamina, 3 Reason, if possible. I normally don't, that's kind of a lie, but you get the point. Being at 3 Stamina, 3 Reason has its upsides. And we can also throw the heavy-duty flashlight to get an extra bit of damage. Some people say this... Oh, what I was going to say earlier, before I finish the thought. So, yeah, some people think throwing the weapon and then doing the launch action sequence is bad. If so, let me know. But what I wanted to say is, yeah, if Dull Nurse gets patched to not be able to... along with Burning Man, not to be able to pseudo-infinitely improvise anymore, then, well, so be it. But otherwise, yeah, go ahead and do what you want to do, comment if you want to, support if you want to, and I'm not going to take up much more of your time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!